early on with the first couple injuries, I was like, oh, like I need to get back. Like, but I think like my mom texted me like after this last injury, and like they know how hard it's been on me. But my mom was like, you know, you've taken so much time for everybody else. Like you have to take time for yourself now. So just trying to do that the best I can too.
Yeah. Nobody expected a simple conversation between Caitlin Clark and Sue Bird to turn into the most analyzed interview in WNBA history. One moment they're talking basketball, the next Caitlin casually drops a response about her injury that had fans literally choking on their popcorn. Was it a comeback hint, a calculated mind game, or the beginning of basketball's next great mystery? Whatever it was, the internet completely lost its collective mind. And Sue's face during that moment, it said everything without saying a word.
About something that I cannot believe Caitlin Clark said out loud. Do I believe Caitlin Clark said this? Yeah. Do I believe she's right? Yeah. I cannot believe Caitlin Clark said this out loud. I'm shocked. I am shocked that she said it out loud in the Sue Bird podcast. And she's 100% correct. She's played on a team with Natasha Howard, who, let's be real, gets in the way a lot.
The thing about this interview is that it wasn't supposed to be groundbreaking. Fans clicked expecting polite basketball chat, maybe some light team bonding stories, a little get-well-soon energy. Instead, Caitlin showed up with a vibe that screamed, "I'll tell you just enough to explode your group chats and absolutely nothing more." She came prepared with answers that could win Olympic medals for strategic vagueness, turning what should have been a routine check-in into the sports equivalent of a Netflix cliffhanger.
It has given me really good perspective on like what a lot of my teammates and people that I've, you know, teams I've been a part of, like certain people have had to go through. Like I've never been through anything like this. Like, and I think that's probably why it's been so hard, because like I've never really dealt with injury, and that's probably been a challenge in itself, because like when I first like was feeling pain, like I didn't understand it. Like I didn't know. I was like, am I just tight?
But here's where things get truly wild. The injury timeline Caitlin revealed makes soap opera drama look tame. It started with what seemed like a manageable quad strain, the kind of thing athletes deal with regularly. Then that innocent little injury decided to invite its friend, a groin problem, to the party. Just when medical staff thought they had things under control, boom. Another groin injury crashes the scene like an unwelcome sequel nobody asked for. Because apparently injuries in professional sports follow the same rules as horror movies. Just when you think the villain is gone, they come back stronger in the finale.
We have gotten a little bit of an update. A little bit of an update here from Chloe Peterson, who is probably the main journalist involved with the Indiana Fever. And realistically, this is not an ideal scenario for anyone, but it's an update. And look, to say that she doesn't have any extra information is wrong. She 1,000,000% has extra information.
This wasn't just Caitlin's first real experience with injury jail. It was her introduction to a world she'd never had to navigate. Picture someone wired for constant competition suddenly being told to sit still and watch from the sidelines. That's like asking a Ferrari to take up knitting. Her rehab days became this twisted cycle of hope and frustration. Some mornings she'd wake up feeling like she was one good stretch away from being game ready, mentally already planning her return. Other days, her body would laugh in her face and remind her exactly who was in charge.
Like the deep three, the logo three, as we know it today, like came when you got to college, got stronger, got to college. But you were like, but I always had a step back.
I did always have to step back.
So like, where does that come from? Like, were you mimicking? Did it just come naturally?
I think it just like kind of came naturally. I don't know. It's kind of hard to put my finger on. Honestly, I grew up like a basketball junkie. So I think like even if you're not like intentionally like watching and like paying attention, like
osmosis.
You're just like absorbing what you're consuming. And I think
then came the text from her mom that changed everything. After watching her daughter push through pain and pressure for everyone else's expectations, her mother delivered the reality check that hit harder than any injury. You've taken so much time for everybody else. You have to take time for yourself now. In a world where Caitlin Clark, the brand, never stops, where fans need their fix and sponsors demand results, being told to prioritize her own healing felt almost revolutionary. It was permission she didn't know she needed to give herself.
Feel about Caitlin being out? A lot of people are looking forward to you two facing off for the first time.
Yeah, I hope she has a speedy recovery. I think player safety is most important, so making sure you're 100% before you step out on the floor can lead to worse things, so I'm glad she's taking care of her body. But there'll be plenty of matches for the future.
The financial elephant in the room loomed larger than anyone wanted to admit. Caitlin's absence isn't just a sports story, it's a business headline that makes shareholders nervous. Clark has played in just 13 games this season and is currently sidelined with a groin injury, yet her economic impact remains astronomical. The league doesn't just want her back, they desperately need her back. Merchandise sales, ticket prices, TV ratings, everything connected to the Caitlin Clark economy suddenly finds itself in limbo while she recovers.
The organization do, and I'd say it's very much kept under wraps what's going on with Caitlin Clark. But let's take a listen right here.
As we start to answer some questions. First question comes from Krista, who asked this, and she follows up, to your knowledge, is Caitlin practicing with the team at all yet? And just in case anybody's listening to this only, Chloe, do you have any updates whatsoever on Caitlin Clark's health status?
The most I know is, what's already been reported in the sense of she's been running up and down full speed.
Sue Bird, meanwhile, played her role in this drama like a master chess player. She sat there with the calm of someone holding state secrets and absolutely loving every second of it. From the beginning, Sue delivered those subtle, knowing smiles that say, I've been in this game long enough to understand exactly how the sausage gets made, but I'm not about to share the recipe. She didn't need to dominate the conversation or push for answers. Instead, she let Caitlin lead while occasionally dropping perfectly timed nods or eyebrow raises, like she was adding seasoning to an already perfect dish.
Now, 64% of the WNBA is black. All right, Caitlin Clark comes in and is immediately the biggest star in the league. Immediately. And merchandising in every other way. Apparently, there's some jealousy that might be manifesting itself into physical inappropriate conduct.
The recovery process itself painted a picture nobody expected. Disney movies became therapy sessions. Sports psychology appointments filled her calendar where games used to be. Caitlin Clark might have accidentally invented the cozy girl athlete aesthetic. Picture her watching Moana for the 10th time, sipping herbal tea, writing positive affirmations, while a resistance band sits in the corner just waiting to ruin her entire mood. This wasn't the high-octane recovery montage you see in movies. This was real life, messy and slow and frustrating.
People can say what they want, but there's not a player in the WNBA that impacts their team more than Caitlin Clark and has the responsibility that Caitlin Clark has for their team. When we talk about an engine, when we talk about passing, scoring, facilitating, gravity on the basketball court, when we talk about all these different things and all these different patterns, that the way that she plays and the way that she gets her spots and her movement on the court, and she plays the game with a unique rhythm.
When the internet finally got what it really wanted, the comeback timeline question, Caitlin's response was so perfectly calculated, you'd think she'd taken master classes in keeping people guessing. No specific dates, no concrete promises, just enough breadcrumbs to make fans think mid to late August, while simultaneously planting seeds for a surprise earlier return. There is no timetable available for Clark's return, and no additional details will be provided at this time. The Fever organization clearly decided they'd rather be safe than sorry, playing the long game because rushing a star player back is like microwaving a steak. Technically faster, but everyone's going to regret the results.
When Paige Becker says she doesn't think that her and Caitlin Clark play alike, she wasn't lying. She was telling the complete truth, because I see it more than ever right now. At first when Paige said this, I was like, she might be hating. But now that I'm actually seeing why she said it, she's just trying to save herself, to make people know that, hey, we are not the same.
This interview birthed an entire subculture of speculation that makes March Madness conspiracy theories look reasonable. You've got the she's secretly healthy and waiting for perfect TV ratings crowd, tracking her grocery store visits and analyzing how many steps she takes from her car without wincing. If she picks up milk without grimacing, boom, instant YouTube breakdown video with 50,000 views. Then there are the doomsday pessimists who treat every slight movement like evidence she won't return until 2026, freeze-framing her expressions like they're studying alien footage.
Got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine. This girl, the Golden Goose, comes along and she wreaks havoc.
Lurking beneath all the speculation is the uncomfortable conversation nobody wants to address directly. The four-time WNBA champion discusses the pervasive issue of racism in the WNBA, emphasizing that it predates Caitlin Clark's arrival. The reality is that Caitlin represents something that makes people uncomfortable, a white player dominating a predominantly black league's spotlight and economics. Outstanding black athletes who've been grinding for years suddenly watch this rookie command attention and money they've never seen. It's not really about Caitlin personally. It's about what her success symbolizes and who benefits from it. The business numbers tell their own story. Her $28 million Nike deal broke records before she'd played a single professional game. Even injured and unable to play, she's still signing autographs, taking pictures, maintaining her brand presence. But that's not sustainable forever. And somewhere in the back of her mind, she knows her absence impacts more than just win-loss records. She's carrying the weight of being someone else's economic lifeline, and that pressure doesn't pause for physical therapy appointments. What made this interview truly masterful was how it managed not to answer anything while revealing everything. Sue Bird watched with the knowing glint of someone who's navigated these exact waters, someone who understands that being a professional athlete means carrying way more than just game performance. They're carrying expectations, brand obligations, personal pride, and the constant fear that one injury could change absolutely everything. Sue wasn't just interviewing Caitlin, she was passing down the unwritten survival guide for being both an athlete and a public figure without letting either role destroy you.
Slow and methodical when she needs to, especially in the half court, especially when she gets off the switch and want to attack the opposing player for the big man. Like she does little things on the basketball court that you have to really analyze, you have to really watch, you have to really know what you're seeing to really understand how different she is. We have never seen a woman in today's game or in history like Caitlin Clark. I know people want to say that she's the female version of Steph Curry, but to me, she doesn't even play like Stephen Curry because Stephen Curry, as great as he is, his best attribute is his shooting, but his second best attribute is his off-ball ability. Caitlin is a on-ball guard.
The comeback narrative is already being written, and everyone knows it's going to be absolutely bonkers. When Caitlin Clark finally returns to the court, it won't be quiet. The first possession she touches the ball, crowds will go completely feral. Commentators are probably already rehearsing their "she's back" calls. Twitter will crash for at least 15 minutes from the sheer volume of posts. The hype machine that's been building pressure during her absence will explode like a champagne bottle that's been shaken for months. The beautiful irony is that this interview about uncertainty created the most certain thing of all. When Caitlin Clark returns, it's going to be the biggest story in sports. And everyone watching this conversation will feel like they witnessed the calm before the storm. The only question left is whether the reality will live up to the hype they've all spent months building.